Let me look through these Akashic Records. Name? What the heck does Akashic Records even mean? Have you ever heard of the term Akashic Records? I've been to somebody talk about, an expert on this topic, someone who's actually researched many books on it. It was at an interesting event, but I want to talk about not just what the experts say, but my experience of how to help you understand this whole Akashic Records. And the Akashic Records is not what you think that it probably is. So let's get into it now. Oh yeah, Akashic Records. What does that mean? Akashic Records is a term that has been coined by somebody who came up with it somewhere. For those who don't know the word Akasha, or like not Akashic, Akasha, from my understanding, is spirit. Spirit, essence, your energy, blah blah blah. Some people say soul and your spirit are different things. Doesn't really matter what we call it. Doesn't matter. I understand that there's a consciousness and then there's what we call our essence to be. Whatever, the place in the sky or a different dimension, that's how I like to think of it. Is it an actual place? And I don't see it as a library, so that's why I did that at the beginning. Like Akashic Records. Records indicate that this is like, what is this, City Hall Library? Hi there, name, who works there? Are there, how many people are working in these Akashic Records? Does anybody guard these records? Is anybody gonna move on for those records? How many people can go to the records at once? Are we there already? These are the kind of questions that I think you need to ask yourself when we get really serious. Like, oh God, I just want to access the Akashic Records and know everything there is to know about life and why things are the way they are. Really? The Akashic Records, here's a... can be accessed day or night. It doesn't have to be just in your sleep. It's a lot easier there. Some say that Edgar Cayce accessed it. Here's my interpretation and my experience. Akashic Records, I don't call it that. I call it, I don't really have a name. Oftentimes I know it's the mind talking when we get into right or wrong. So that's when you know it's the mind trying to convince you. What do you feel in your heart? What's Akashic Records called in Spanish? What's it called in French? What's it called in Japanese? Different words, different meanings. Okay? Know that first. Different words, different meanings. Unzip. Can you follow me? We open this world. We see that there is so much vastness in the sky. See your star. Vastness. To have a record for every single person, every single event is lunacy. When somebody tells you that this is how things are, and this is how the Akashic Records are, and this is the only way you get there, to get the Akashic Records, actually I do know the way. You go to sleep, and when you're asleep, you take a left at that star, you take a right at that reality. If you keep going down this way, you'll get there, and make sure you're not there too long, because you won't retain all the information, and it won't make any sense to you. Okay? Well, thank you very much for coming, and thanks for leaving. Is that what it would be like in real life? When you try and go find the library, what it is, and I'm going to tell you how to actually access instead of just ridiculing, although it's kind of fun sometimes. Can we laugh at ourselves? I know I can. Laugh, laugh, laugh. Simply, I call it astral travel. You might want to check out my video on how to astral travel at a body experience. Yes, how to, what it's like, different ways and tips to help you with that process. And yes, it does exist, and yes, it is real. Just look up near-death experiences. There's much evidence out there. Check it out if you want to. Oh, you can make your own decision. You will anyway, right? You have many potentials for what your life can be. That's what I think. We have so many potentials of what our life can be. That could be, you go this way, then this happens. You do this, and that happens. Ever seen the movie Run Lola Run? It's a wonderful movie. And it shows 3 different scenarios. What if it happened like this? If she acted this way, then this happened. If she did this, then this happened. There are so many ways. I don't think that the future is set, that it has to be, okay, this happens and this happens, this happens. Now there's a probability, and sometimes we can see what is coming because maybe we're in tune to what we call consciousness, the matrix. Maybe you're outside the matrix, we're going to call it that. Many experiments done on this as well. We want to use the science here too, where people tune in and they put intention experiments, and just look up intention experiments, it's up there. Or remote viewing. Again, terms. I look at it as my experience. Yes, I've known things to happen, but this is how it actually seems to come to be on the unconscious in real life. Real life, how is that going to work for you? Say you do go there, you go to sleep, you're like, oh my God, I just went to the Akashic Records. Wow, what a trip. You want to come? That was amazing. Okay, well, what did you learn there? Well, there's just so much stuff I can't even tell you. It may come to you in ways that is intuition. Think about reaching up to the sky and you have all this wealth of information and feelings and thoughts and events and magical goodness of life and different, who knows, maybe life in other countries from where you are, life in other planets. Who knows? You're going to translate all of that coming into our brain. Our brain has a lot we don't use, yeah, but there's still, it can only handle so much until you go, need more memory, down. I'm getting a download. Wait a minute, excuse me. Okay. You have to interpret and process that information, and that can be a feeling, a thought. It's so much like intuition. Very similar, and that's how it can manifest. So I wouldn't be looking for the Akashic Records of imagining a library book. Again, it's intention. And oftentimes it seems to happen, from my understanding, there are many ways and many paths, when we're actually not actively pursuing it. We access it by just being open. That's like the big one. I want to write this right here. Be open. That's how you're there. Be open, go to sleep, change your beliefs. If people knew all about these Akashic Records and all this information, do you think that their lives would be a lot different? Do you think they would be behaving differently? They'd be feeling differently? They would know even more than they know now? So let's cut the crap and look at, okay, yeah, we see you talking about the Akashic Records and this and that. Really? How's that working out for you? Oh, how'd you work? Well, I have more YouTube views. Well, you have more money. Have you created more peace on earth, or this or that, or what did you get that you was so enlightening? Please enlighten us. I love you all and everyone's message. I really do. But I think we need to take a pause, and just give that a little think. Not too much. Think and a feel. Put it in your heart. Save it for later. I had mentioned that you can access it day or night. How does that work in daytime? It can be a daydream. I know I've had times where, have you ever felt like me, where you're just like, you're totally talking to someone and then out of nowhere, and no, you're not on drugs, you're just kind of like, you feel like some shift has happened and you're like, and you're just sort of blank. No, you're not a zombie. It's like you're processing something and you don't fully know what, but you're just sort of in tune with something. Who's to say that we're not in touch with all different people right now and all different frequencies? That is real. This is not just some make-believe hocus pocus. That's kind of fun too. You can do that if it feels good. So transform yourself by not just thinking it, or thinking, yeah, I think that there's a astral travel, Akashic Records, some place where there's different potentialities of realities. I don't know how else to say it. Potentialities, I like that. Potentialities of realities. I like that. I'm just going to quote myself. Potentialities of realities. A place where we can meet, where we are meeting maybe even right now. Don't just think it and believe in it. Know it. Find people who have had that. Find people who have had that evidence. Research it yourself. There are so many things. I mentioned near-death experiences where people have been in contact and they know certain things. and conversations that were had or other information. There is so much out there, and I'm not an expert on near-death experience, but I have watched documentaries on it. Some of them I'm like, others I'm like, there's a future beyond our wildest dreams. If you were thinking of the future, say you're accessing this vast soup of cosmic isness of finding out what you're wanting to find out or experiencing that feeling, thought, knowledge, how to apply it for you, your life, or others. You may see things in the future that make no sense to you. Let's go back even further. Let's say you were in the 1920s and you saw this day and age where there were so many jets, and look how big they even are today. These huge jumbo jets, 747s, 777s, the Dreamliner, the A350, A380. Like there are so many planes all going in the sky all the time. You would be like, what is this? What is this future? To us, we take it for granted. Imagine 20 years from now. There may be technologies that are 30 years from now, 40 years from now. Take it wherever you want. And you say you actually see something, and you're just like blown away by something that you feel or see that does not compute with right now. So you have to be real open to, if you really want to access what you call this. But I'd say don't live in that place. We're here on the earth. Yes, there are other realities that are going on at the same time, other dimensions, frequencies. If you want to talk about the science, talk. The main message here is feel the process, but don't let somebody else dictate to you what you feel you should know or don't know in life based on a concept in the sky of a called Akashic Records, when it may just be called nothing at all. They may have no name. It just may be potentialities, and that place changes all the time and is elusive and a magical spark that can be accessed day or night. Be open to the process. Who's to say it isn't true? You find out for yourself.